Hello! Have you ever heard about the Gini Index? Well, the Gini Index is a measure of statistics that represents inequality in income that ranges from 10 to 100, where 0 indicates that income is shared equally and 100 indicates that only 1% has all of the income. And did you know, since the pandemic erupted, the average Gini for markets in developing countries has increased until an estimated 6%? Hello, my name is Azmi. I am 21 years old and I am currently studying in the University of Pajajaran, Indonesia. The increasing numbers of the Gini Index is only one out of many factors that refers to progress made in reducing income inequality and inequality in general since the financial crisis that occurred in the pandemic, which brings us to SDGs number 10, as known as to reduce inequality within and among countries. There has been a growing gap between the richest and the rest in Indonesia for the past 2 decades, and it has been growing faster than any other country in Southeast Asia. The Central Bureau of Statistics stated that the Gini Index data on economic inequality in Indonesia is relatively around 0.4 higher than in the past. This illustrates that the level of economic inequality in Indonesia is getting worse. However, the number of rich adults in Indonesia rose sharply by 61.7%. How does this happen, you may wonder? Well, it's because of the inequality. Inequality of financial freedom, chances of getting a well-paid job, chances of getting a high or minimum amount of education, and chances of surviving during a worldwide pandemic. According to an ASEAN survey, the amount of people who have been laid off due to COVID-19 in Indonesia is around 29 million people, which is around 24.5% of residents or family members. How is this unfair? Well, wealthy people are not affected by this at all. They are all perfectly capable of withholding their assets or making money through e-commerce and other fintech provided, especially in a pandemic when most people are spending their money online due to lockdown. They can still sit around and money will come to them. Well, how about the less fortunate? They don't know or haven't been taught how to operate these financial technologies, or they're simply not qualified enough to have a more stable and well-paid jobs when they are not at risk of getting laid off. Why? Because of their lack of chances of getting a proper education, which brings us to another very important SDGs number 4, quality education. Indonesia struggles to provide inclusive, high-quality education to its citizens. The country has much lower literacy levels compared to other ASEAN countries, showed by an analysis conducted by World Bank, which stated that 55% of Indonesians who completed schools are functionally illiterate. Teachers with locations that are easily accessible in terms of transportation and access to basic needs tends to be more available, easy to find, and more knowledgeable in their subjects. Meanwhile, teachers in remote areas with minimal access and transportation tends to be very limited, which can make a huge gap in quality teaching and quality of graduate students. We need an equal distribution of teachers and human resources in remote areas. The low quality of educators is also one of the problems of education in Indonesia. Not all teachers are able to teach material of their own thought and own subjects. According to the Global Education Monitoring Report by UNESCO, education in Indonesia ranks for 10th and last for teacher quality from 14 developing countries. So, our education system is underdeveloped and there are barriers to equal access, which means many Indonesian workers cannot access to higher skilled and higher paid jobs during the pandemic. What sort of approaches can we take to deal with these very important matters? Well, we can set an example on what we as youths can do to make a difference by making projects and programs to educate those and assist those in need of more exposure and knowledge about education and technologies provided and needed. We can make an actual reportable case studies to hand over to the government while setting our own solutions on how we are willing to contribute towards this matter. The government needs to make sure that job fields are well provided and distributed across the country. Invest in more money and time to make more high-quality educators and resources. Make materials more accessible and free for all. Other things that we must fight for the sake of those in need are for the government to provide basic healthcare such as vaccine and free vitamins or other supplements, and make sure that the taxes that are being paid by the more fortunate are well distributed for the facilities and well-being for the less fortunate. Donate even if it's small. Use a social media platform. Make your own voice, spread your own campaign, whatever it is, as long as it's from the heart, even you can make a difference. We can make a difference. Never turn a blind eye on these issues because they need to be heard. Hello, my name is Azmi, and the reason why I want to be a part of Ayoasean Ambassador is because I want to take an active part in that change. I want to hear, engage, discuss, and learn about the things that we as a community can do to make that difference. I also want to use my knowledge and past experiences to fully spread the awareness. I am Azmi Abdullah. Thank you for your time and goodbye.